Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Destiny. This is Afro-Pinionated, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys some things that I wish I knew / things that I wish I put more thought into before going to law school. So it's been like 6-7 months, almost 8 months since I last uploaded, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna be my first upload. Yeah, I know it's been all summer, girl. I know. Okay, I'm getting myself together slowly but surely. I was gonna do like a traditional life update video, but I thought this would be better, would make more sense, I guess. So yeah, here we are. Without further ado, let's get right on into this video because I don't want to make it too long. If you guys didn't know, I am now a 2L period. I passed all my classes. I am here. Pretty sure this year is also going to be just as difficult, if not more difficult than last year, but you know, we're gonna press on. I would say that the most important thing that I'm going to say in this video is that you cannot force your journey to replicate somebody else's experience. For me, before I started school, I was looking at all of these people on YouTube, you know, young, black, successful women who were just doing the damn thing. Like they're getting you know, interning in big law, they are at great schools, they have amazing grades, and I was trying to mimic, you know what I mean, what I perceived as success. And it's like, I didn't know it at the time, but in my head, I guess maybe on a subconscious level, I started to equate success to what they were experiencing, because I mean, that is successful. Like, you are interning at a big law firm, you are, you know, having amazing grades, you are, you know, you're doing great, you're in organizations and everything like that, you're doing everything that you're supposed to do in order to ensure that you're successful post-grad. But for me, that wasn't happening. So every time I didn't get a good grade, every time, you know, things weren't working out how they had their lives, I was equating that to failure. You know what I mean? I was equating that to failure without considering, hey, you know, you were never in danger of losing your scholarship. You still have a scholarship. You passed all of your classes. You know, you're still doing well. You're still here. You're coming back. You haven't been tapped out. So it's just really important not to it's really important not to compare yourself to other people, even though we literally, I mean, you kind of have to with the way that the grades work and everything, but I mean, it's important to like mitigate that and catch it even when you're subconsciously doing it. You have to like pretty much catch that quick, otherwise it can fester and it can make you depressed, period. I mean, you can get depressed easily, quick, okay? You can get depressed real quick. So yeah, just make sure that you're not trying to force your journey to mimic someone else's. Why not? Because whenever you don't meet those expectations, whenever your journey starts to look different from someone else's, you start to equate that to failure, or at least I did. I can only speak for myself, but you get what I'm saying. Another thing that was unexpected for me is how social of a process this was going to be. Like, I understand that I was going to have to network. I understood that, you know, there's going to be things going on, but like, it's an abundance. There are an abundance of events going on. There's a happy hour every Friday. There is talks, conferences, galas, balls, brunches, conferences, events. It's just all kind of stuff going on. Volunteering opportunities and stuff. It's just like such a social field, and I just was not expecting that. Like, I just assumed that we was all gonna be too busy to be engaging in all of these social activities, and no, you're not. You're not supposed to sleep. You're not supposed to sleep. You're not supposed to take out time for yourself. You're supposed to engage in all these events and all these networking events, and you're supposed to network. And I just didn't realize that. Like, I don't know. I thought we were all too busy. You know, as an introvert, this was overstimulating and it was a lot for me to take in. And I will say that, like, I definitely wasn't really partaking in any of those things, but I understand that I need to. So I still have 2 more years to do that, but definitely consider that if you're an introvert like me and you require a lot of alone time, like away from books, away from the computer, just alone time. You know what I mean? So you definitely want to consider that. Like I said, there's literally a happy hour every Friday. There are all these different events going on, volunteering stuff. Literally every day at noon, there was like a talk, an attorney coming in, a representative from a law firm coming in, all kinds of stuff going on, like literally every day. And I'm just trying to prep for the next class. I'm just trying to brief these cases. Like, please give me a moment, one moment. But yeah, it's just like very overwhelming for me, very overstimulating socially for me as an introvert. So definitely prepare yourself for that, for sure. I have my stuff written down on my tablet because I'm scatterbrained, but that's why I'm looking over here. Yeah, another thing that I didn't fully consider, I guess, was how overwhelming it is. Like, I knew it was going to be a lot academically, but I guess I didn't really consider how all of that was going to interact with like your relationships and your health. And then, you know, you have family members and stuff. Everybody's life is still going on and you're stuck in this little bubble a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, you can't hang out like you used to. You can't talk on the phone for however many hours every day like you're used to. Like, you have to consider how, you know, your scholastic commitments are gonna interact with your personal relationships, your intimate relationships, your friendships, and you really, like, it's just overwhelming. Like, you already have to do all this work, all this reading, all this studying. You gotta do all this stuff. You gotta try to maintain friendships and relationships if you have them, and it's just a lot. Like, it's just very overwhelming. Trying to have good grades, trying to pass all your classes, trying to keep up with, you know, the most important people in your life, trying to keep up with yourself. You might have health problems, your family members could have health problems, like all kinds of stuff comes up, and it'd be feeling like too much all the time. It's too much. Another thing that I wish that I knew how to do before going to law school was learning how to study. This may seem kind of trivial just for the fact that if you were in law school, then you already have a degree. So you would think, oh, I probably learned how to study in undergrad, but I didn't. I didn't. Listen, I'm a bare minimum type of person when it comes to education. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am. Like, I'm trying to put in the least and get out the most. So I was a political science, I have a long major. I majored in political science and administrative studies with an emphasis in management information systems. So it's basically political science and business. And essentially, I didn't study that hard. Like, I studied, of course, but like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, I studied 2 weeks in advance of every exam. I didn't. I wrote all my papers the night before. Yeah, all of my papers were written the night before and I would be getting A's on them. So, you know, if I'm getting an A on a paper that it only took me 13 hours to write, why would I work on it for 2 weeks? Make that make sense for me, okay? So I had that kind of mentality coming in and I got humbled very quickly. Okay, very quickly. Even I used to be a business major before I switched to poli-sci, but even when I was a business major, the only classes I studied for were the math classes. Like, I studied for calculus, I studied for algebra, I studied for statistics. But beyond that, I wasn't really studying hard like that, you know what I mean? Like, when I had math classes, I was going above and beyond. Like, I was doing all the practice problems, all of the problems that weren't graded. Math Excel was tearing me up. So, you know, I studied rigorously for those, but like, for anything else, anything that's not math, like, I'm not going that hard with the studying. I'm just not, because I feel like I don't need to, or I didn't need to. But again, law school humbled me for sure. Like, for certain, humbled me immediately. First grade, I was humbled. I'm like, all right, this is not gonna work. So when I initially started studying, all I would do, read and take notes, and that's it. And that's not enough. It's not enough. Studying in law school is very intense. It requires you to read. It requires you to take notes, outline if that's what you do, practice questions, watching videos, talking it out with other people. Like, you gotta go in. Okay, you have to go in. You kind of have to treat it like a science, like a hard science, or like a math. It takes an enormous amount of practice in order to predict how an outcome is going to be. So yeah, you have to really approach it like a science, a hard science. Again, just because you do have to practice a lot, and if you don't practice, then you're going to get C's. If you don't If you don't do enough practice questions, you're gonna get average or below average. Like, you are not about to be the top in your class if you're not doing practice questions. So the next thing that I didn't fully expect was how much it's going to cost. It was expensive, but you know, I just didn't expect certain things, you know what I mean, to occur, especially during my first year. So I didn't know that I was going to have to spend this much money in books and supplies. Like, I totaled it out, like when I was doing my taxes, I spent almost $1,800 on like books, supplies, subscriptions, and then all of these access codes that I needed for my classes. Like, I spent almost $1,800 and I just was not prepared. Like, in poli-sci, you're not spending $300 a book. You're not spending $200 a book. You're not, I never had to spend that much. Never had to spend $100 a book, okay? All my books was cheap, $50 and under type cheap, okay? They were cheap. When I was a business major, my accounting book was expensive, and like my math book was kind of expensive, but like I just wasn't expecting $300 a book. And then they have the nerve to require more than one book per class. More than one book per class. Now that's what's really, that's what really gets you, is more than one book per class. Plus, you know, you probably need Quimby. I had to buy Quimby. Quimby is not cheap. Quimby is $300. Okay, that's $300 right there. But Quimby is necessary, I feel like. I just needed a bunch of access codes and stuff for like my writing class. We had to take this grammar thing. Like, it was just out of nowhere, just crazy, just madness. Okay, when you see $1,800 for books and supplies on that cost of attendance sheet, you don't think that's, you're like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But no, you just might. And you also have to consider, like, for your books, if you buy them used, you have to lug them around all day. If you don't live near campus. Like, I don't live super close to campus, so whatever books I needed, I had to bring them, and I ended up getting a locker, which a lot of people do, and a lot of people also get roller backpacks. But yeah, imagine carrying around 5 1,500-page books every day. I also had car problems. Yeah, I had car problems for like a month straight. Okay, it was a hot mess. I had to spend like $1,300. And you just, like, for me, my car at the time had like 50,000 miles, 52,000 miles. Why was my check engine light on in the first place? Y'all, it was just a mess. I had to go to the mechanic like 4 times. I ended up having to go to the dealer, and I had to take it back to the dealer. And then on top of that, just in March, I had to buy a new laptop. Snatch my coins, okay? Just tap into my savings, okay? It's very much a mess. Another thing, I think I have 2 more things. I'm gonna hurry up for my camera die or turn off or whatever. But I think it's really important that you learn how to cope with anxiety before you get into law school. I mean, I had enough self-awareness to kind of know how I cope with anxiety, but some things were new to me. Like, for me, I used to play I still play Cooking Fever, y'all. I be playing Cooking Fever when I be stressed out. When I get stressed out about school, I play Cooking Fever. I also read. I stopped watching YouTube as much, which is crazy because this is like, I love YouTube. I've been loving YouTube since, it's been years and years and years at this point. But yeah, I play Cooking Fever. I read. I definitely want to learn how to cope with anxiety. I also didn't know that this field has so much substance abuse, which is kind of perpetuated by, you know, all the happy hours and let's have drinks, let's go for drinks. Everybody want to go for drinks. Like, you know, it's just kind of like, okay, we see there's a problem, but we're going to continue to engage with it and induce it. But you know, y'all put y'all mental health first, but we're not gonna help you do that. But yeah, definitely figure out how you cope with anxiety. Figure out things that calm you down. For some people it's working out, it's yoga. For some people it's writing. For some people, you know what I'm saying, they smoke weed where it's legal. I'm not telling you to smoke weed, I'm just saying they smoke it where it's legal. Okay, some people do that. But I can see how people start smoking cigarettes. I can see how people start popping pills. Like, I can see all those things, and you have to find healthy ways to deal with your anxiety. And I think the key is actually to find healthy addictions. The last thing, and I'm gonna wrap this up, is you kind of have to not get used to getting bad grades, but, or for some people, you only get bad grades when you don't try. And that was me. Like, for the most part, except for math, only time I got a bad grade in undergrad was when I didn't try. I didn't study, or I BS'd, you know? But like here, I could put my heart and soul into something and still come up with a D. And all of the grades are curved. It's very confusing. It's hard to really know what your grade is going to be because of the curve. But you have to get used to getting bad grades and not letting it deplete you, or, you know, deplete your morale, because that's what was happening to me. If I got a grade and without looking at the average, you know, for me, if I saw my grade and I got a D, I don't care what the average is. A D is a D. But it doesn't work like that in law school, and I had to learn that. But if I'm getting a D, if I'm getting an F, that's terrible. Like, I feel bad. Like, I feel like I'm a failure. Okay, so yeah, before my camera disrespected me and cut off, and your D might be the B, your F might be the C. So you have to like adjust to that mindset as well, because when I first got my grade back, when I got my first grades back, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna drop out. I'm gonna go home. I'm packing it up, wrapping it up. It's time to go. We're done. You just gotta keep going. Really, I guess just like with anything else in life, you just have to keep going, because that's all you could do. That's all you could do. I mean, you could quit, but like, you would never know. Like, if I would have kept going, would I have made it? Probably. So just, you know, keep going. I know that a lot of incoming 1Ls are about to start their journey. I wish everybody the best. And yeah, these are just some things that I wish I would have considered more, or what I wish I knew, some things that were unexpected. So I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Definitely comment down below if you're starting school, any school, high school, college, law school, grad school, you're getting that master's, girl, you're getting that MBA or psych, whatever y'all are majoring in. I hope you guys all are successful. Hope you guys find peace, and I hope that y'all's dreams come true. I wish y'all the best in anything that you're doing, that new job, any endeavor that you're pursuing. I hope that you find success in it.